like depending on what I'm looking at determines how big it is.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Pie Day. Yes, everybody likes pie, right? Good morning, homeless. Yes, you are first. I'm happy with that. You're not fired anymore. Oh, all right. So, yes, today is Pi Day, which, if you don't know, pi is a mathematical equation. It's like the ratio of a circle's circumference. And the beginning part of pi is 3.14, right? So, correlating it to days, today is 3/14. It is Pi Day. That's how that works. And only a couple of days ago, I wasn't streaming for it, but it was Mario Day. Because MAR 10 looks like Mario, and March 10th was Mario Day. Yeah. That's how that works, right? All right, let's see. The music didn't come on after that. Let's manually get that thing turned on. There we are. So, how are you this morning, homeless? Hope you are doing well. Hi, Sophie. All right. Well, what do we got? We got a couple things we're going to be trying to work on today. I know we're going to work on some more artwork. What I have been working on is kind of like a I don't know the real name for them, but they're a comic book and comic shows, old ones, right? The action names like Boom, Pow, Wow, Zap, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to be trying to work on some of those. I've been working on them throughout the week, making the outline. So we're going to start trying to fill in stuff today. Pretty good. Not like, oh, you're still getting snow. It's like, we're not. It's been hitting, in the 70s now. Onomatopoeia. Yes. Is that the name for it? Onomatopoeia. I have no idea. It very well could be. Well, let's check it out. Right? Is that what that is? Refers to words that phonetically imitate, resemble, or suggest the sound that they are describe. Buzz, splash, boom. Yes, that's it. Almost spelled right. It looks like it has instead of the N, it is a T. And then a couple extra letters. But that's pretty close. I had no idea what that was called. That was pretty good, homeless. Yep. So we're pretty close to what we're using with that, right? Yeah, like I said, we have some stuff that I've been slowly outlining, like making all week, and we're going to try to implement that stuff. Now, in game news, what do we need? If you like playing racing games, right? This is an old style game. It's called Knight Rider, and it's loud. All right, you can just sit there with no music. Well, all right. How the hell do you mute the thing? There we go. Anyways, it's fun. It's a free little game. It's on here. It reminds me of what's the old game that you did this in, like that style racing. But here's a fun little game to play. Right. You can just play it in the browser. It does suggest a controller. I don't think you can use... No, it says keyboard. So you can use a keyboard if you need to. All right. What else? What have I been playing? Well, I played a little bit of Ark Survival Ascended, a Shreyos map this week. I played WoW, World of Warcraft. Midnight, I'm still working through that with my main character. Then I played Call to the Lamb. And did some work on my stuff. That's kind of been my week. Outside of that, I'm excited for Crimson Desert. Oh, no, I also played Diablo 4. Yes, I played with Jeepin on Thursday, I think it was. And then, because she's still working through the initial storyline. You're excited for Crimson Desert? Oh, I know. It looks so good. It's an expensive game to begin with, right? But it looks really, really good. And it comes out in just a couple days. You can get all kinds of stuff. Oh, I didn't even see they have a collector's edition. Look at that. I mean, it just looks really good. The whole world, and this sells me right here. If you can fly a dragon and ride a wolf, you kind of have me, right? So it's gonna be happening for sure. Yeah. It's going to have all kinds of stuff. The pre-order pricing, like I said, it is kind of expensive. But you can get a collector's edition. So if we go to the retail store, let's see what the collector's edition is. Does it tell you how much this is? You get all kinds of stuff. You get physical stuff in the collector's edition. I haven't done physical collection stuff in a while. I'm not sure I'm going to get that. The dragon riding in the trailer sold you before you even saw the rest of the trailer? Yes, 100%. It's kind of the same stuff that sold me for like Light No Fire too. Assuming that ever comes out, but yeah. So if we go to, because I know Crimson Desert's, if we go here, deluxe edition. Let's see. Let me open up Steam. Let's pause that. All right. So the standard edition is like $70, right? The deluxe edition is $80. The collectors, which is only physical, I have no idea how much that is. I would assume you're at least 100 something into $100 because you're getting physical items, including this big dragon. And it looks like a map as well, which is kind of neat. What? I'm definitely looking at like the deluxe edition because it's only $10 more at that point. So, and I like the wolf shield too. But the Light No Fire was kind of the same way, right? So, Light No Fire, which it's sitting on Steam, right? I was like, oh, okay, this looks pretty good. This looks all right. But then, like, the dragon riding completely sold it. and I was 100% hooked into it. Yeah, this thing, like this right here. But assuming it comes out, like, hopefully, as far as I understand, it's still being worked, it's being pushed, it's aiming hopefully for this year. Hopefully. All right. Let's see. We can get rid of this. Don't forget, it should be pinned at the top of the chat here is the web whiteboard. You can come in here, you can draw, you can do all kinds of stuff. Just keep it within terms of service of Twitch, and we're good. All right. The other thing I'm waiting for, Homeless, I am waiting for, it is Diablo 4 Lord of Hatred. Right? So Lord of Hatred is, I believe, going to be the last component to Diablo 4. But it comes out near the end of April, April 28th. And it looks so good. And right now, if you have Diablo 4, you can try out playing a Paladin for a couple more days. I think it goes until Sunday. And then it's done, right? But you also are going to have the Warlock and the Paladin in there, and it's just going to be so awesome. So I'm really looking forward to it because I love Diablo stuff. You have so much to do on Diablo 4? Yeah, so do we. Jeepin's still playing through the first part to beat Lilith, so trying to get there, trying to work through some of the stuff. Yeah. Same, yeah. Well, whenever we're on and doing stuff, you are welcome to try to join in on the quest to try to beat Lilith. I forget what we're about a level 30 something. I think I think we just hit. I'm 2 levels behind her, so I'm about level 30. She's a level 32. They've made it much easier now, though. A lot easier. So even though you're right at the level for it, you're breezing through. We're hardly having any problems. Yeah, see, that would be perfect if you wanted to, like, next time we're on or something, if you want to join up. I'll be on today probably, but as well as playing some World of Warcraft. So what is all right, so we have what else is coming out? Death Stranding 2 on the beach is coming out. If you played Death Stranding 2, it's supposed to be really, really good. That comes out. I don't know what Dragonkin is, but the name's kind of cool. You've been playing more Star Wars The Old Republic. You're paying for the sub. Nice. I had it for a little while. I let it go, I think. And yeah. The only other game that I know I pay for WoW, and I pay for Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, it's just constant. I just pay it. Because like I just want it there, so like if I want to hop on and play for a little bit, I can. And not have to deal with anything. All right. What else? Outside of that, good morning, Jeepin. I see you didn't fall back to sleep. Jeepin is not feeling well. So she is playing she's playing hooky from work today. or at least for a while. She's probably going to skip all day. So she should skip all day. Right. We're just, we're talking games. We're talking about how we're excited for Crimson Desert. Right. We're excited for this. We're talking about Diablo 4, where Homeless is still trying to beat Lilith, so he's in the same spot roughly that you are, Jeepin. And what? Hi. Can I help you? You'll have to wait. Right, Sophie? Okay. Yeah, you can't drive if the world is spinning. Can't do it. Nope. Not unless you had a hamster wheel, hamster ball as a vehicle. All right. I think that's it. So pretty much you're just going to stay here all day. That's probably how it's going to go. But Homeless and I were saying that we are interested, want to do Crimson Desert because one, you can ride a wolf, you can ride a dragon, that stuff, right? All right, Sophie treat. This is what she's been sitting here waiting for. So let's see if it'll switch over on its own. Good girl. Yeah, it does. It looks really, really good. A little expensive, but it's a solid game, right? It's going to be $70, I think is the price. $70 for the standard, $80 for the deluxe. You didn't hear the sound for Sophie Treat? Oh, it was delayed. I heard it. I wasn't looking when it happened, though. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really looking forward to this. So we got about 5 days until this comes out. So. And outside of that, like we said, we were talking about Diablo 4 with Lord of Hatred stuff coming out in April. And we said Happy Pi Day. Right? Today is Pi Day. So, all good stuff, right? And I have the whiteboard active, so you can click the link at the top of the chat. You can be able to come in here, draw, do whatever you want, and just keep it within term of service stuff, right? That's all. You want a cherry pie? Yeah. We weren't thinking. We should have had like little pies or something for Pi Day, but hey. What we are going to be doing is trying to come up with some Irish foods for St. Patrick's Day. Right, so St. Patrick's Day is on Tuesday, so in just a couple of days it'll be good. And I have my St. Patrick's flat cap on. Well, my Irish flat cap. Yeah. And we have been trying to figure out we're making a trip this year, and we're going to Ireland at some point, right? So we are slowly putting together our itinerary and trying to figure out the stuff that we want to do. There's so much to see and try to fit in. You can only get to so much of it, right? But It'll be fun. We'll have a good time. We're going to rent a vehicle. Fish and chips. Yes, there's lots of fish and chips everywhere there, and it'll be fresh. We are going to rent a vehicle. We'll be driving in Ireland. So you're on it's reversed driving compared to how we do it. And David, good morning. How are you doing? So it'll be reverse driving, but I've done it before, so it'll be fine. We'll just take it slow. That's all. All right. I think we'll go ahead and drop in and check out some of the stuff that I've been trying to work on this week, and we'll do some artwork here for a little while after we show the game and stuff, right? So let me switch over here. There we are. We can minimize that. All right. What I have been working on is this. These are the action words that I've been making little like outlines for, basing them on other ones, that kind of stuff, right? But it'll be good because this is going to happen like when the player hits the enemy with a melee weapon, right? And I kind of have some of the code in there now. So we're going to run it. We'll look at it real quick, and you can see them kind of, right? The way I'm doing it is I have it set to sprite indexes. And let's see. I had to add a couple things in here. I've been getting a little better at doing what's it called, coalescence, I think is the term, right? The ands. So what it basically means is like here, hit sound equals either it's going to be hit sound if it has a value, right? If it does not and it's undefined, it'll use no one, right? So I'm getting better at using coalescence. Because right now I don't have stuff for most of them, so that's all right. But we're getting there. So let's run it real quick, check out where we're at, and then we'll work on some of the art. And we'll wait for OBS here catch up. There we are. All right, so this is the beginning, obviously. But this is your little friend who's like, hey, I'm here to try to help you, but I can only help you, quickly because, I don't want them to notice, that kind of stuff. And creates a portal. You got to go through the blue portals. He's like, I need you to get out before they do more experiments, right? Which is kind of why you have a pumpkin head. Yeah. And it says, take a pistol before you get started. However, because I'm testing stuff, right now you start with a sword. But all right, so there's the boom. But you can see all the different color circles. That's going to be these what was it called? Homeless found the word. But it actually has a name. So these action things, right? And I think it's looking pretty good right? We have a little bit of a noise for the sword. There we are. Yeah, so it's starting to look pretty good, right? We have our essence count over here. We have enemies remaining. We have some debug stuff here. Yeah, and I still have it in here that we can turn the light on and off, but at this point, I'm playing it almost always with the light system in it. All right. Why? I hate when GameMaker decides to resize itself when you run a app, like when you run it, because now it looks weird. There we are. Nope, it's over into the other screen. There we go. You remembered the word from 8th grade art class, but somehow can't remember what you had for breakfast. Story of your life. Yeah, that's about it, right? Yeah. So, we're going to try to work on some of these, right? Because right now, we're sprites. It's just sitting in here. This is it, right? I have Boom in a bright color, but then the other ones are just circles right now. We're going to finish them up, copy them over, and hopefully it'll look all right. So let's close that, and let's open up this. I see you. Arwen is peeking over down underneath the cover, and making little noises at me. She wants uncovered already. She'll have to wait 30 minutes, Arwen. All right. So, this is kind of my clouds aren't really looking like little cloud puffs very well. I messed up a couple of them. I definitely messed up over here. And I don't know what I was doing right here. But, you know, it's all right. So I was going to keep this kind of in red, but when I was testing it over here, I did a purple, pink, like a neon pink. And I kind of like it, but I don't know. Let's do, we'll keep it in red, right? Because at this point, I've already done all the main drawing of this stuff, and we'll try to fix some of this stuff as we go. So I was thinking, oh, this is red. Right. A good background color to the red, right? So inside here, guess we can try a couple different colors and see what we like, right? You have something like that. Or like green. That's not bad. I kind of like the yellow, but there's a light blue. I want to stick away from like similar colors. Complementary color is a complementary, the one that's opposite from it. So like red is with green, that kind of stuff. Is that a complementary color? Now I need my color chart. Red. Complementary color. The primary complementary color for red is green. As it goes the opposite wheel. Do we have like a color wheel? This is what I want. All right. We're going to take this and let's place it into the web whiteboard. Maybe. There it is. All right. Now we have it. So red is straight across. It's green. But I don't know. Do we like that kind of look? I mean, I guess we can go for it. Come back to it if we don't. There. And we need white for in there. Nope. All right. My clown stuff. There. Maybe that'll make it look a little better. All right, we'll do that. All right, so we have the first one, sort of. This looks too long or too weird looking. All right. What else we want to do? I think that's it on that one, right? So let's do boom. What color? I need a color. What color do we want the word boom to be in? What's somebody's favorite color? Well, since I hear her, our one is green. Let's do green. Right. Qualis, welcome in. How you doing? You think explosion, so red and yellow, orange, red. All right, let's go with red. Like that color red, or are we thinking like bright red, like this? All right, so what is a good color behind it? All right, so we have it on bright red. Let's look at our little thing here. So we know green is a complementary to red, but so is kind of you could sort of do a blue. To make it so it stands out. So this, we already did a red green. Maybe like a red blue. Oops. How's that look? Bright, yeah. Makes it pop, or boom, if you will. Yep. Yellow. Let's try yellow. I like the red with the yellow. That looks pretty good. What does everybody else? What do you all think? You like it? It vibes. Excellent. All right, so now let's do white. Whoops. Just kidding. I probably didn't close this very well. Nope, I did not. All right. Now we'll do this. There's a clown. This is not... All right, we're going to erase this. That's not very good. Let's try... are we making this for something in particular? Yes. Or just having... Literally just got here moments ago and don't know what's going on. Oh, well. Let me show you. So... all these little action words, right, are going to be used when the player hits the enemy with melee weapons. So if we come in and run the game, right now you're going to see these colors set up on it as temporary. This is a top-down shooter. I like doing 3-month game challenges, right? So we're coming to the close. We got a couple, like 3 weeks left in the game, and then we'll be able to get to it. All right, so we have go through here. All right, so I have a melee weapon in my hand. What's you'll have is, as you hit, all those little colored circles are going to be the images that we're working on right now. Those action words, right? And what was it called? Homeless. Right? It's only going to happen with the melee weapons. So if you have a ranged weapon on you, it won't do it. But if you have both, it'll still do it whenever a melee weapon hits an enemy. And that's kind of the design process on it, right? And that's what this is going to do. So we can come in, we'll pick a long as a club. No other essence stones yet, so yeah, and we hear two noises. We hear sort of a, I don't know what type of noise it is, but it's whenever the enemy is actually killed. And omnopia. Omnopia. Yes, that is the name for it. And you hear a sort of a swoosh, which is the sword sound. I don't have one on the bong yet. But that's what we are working on today, is the effect stuff. So, that's this. And then we'll get that implemented and we should be good. Yeah. So, Qualis, how have you been? It's been a while. I can't remember what type of, what you've been working on. All right, we need, we're going to try to make 3 little loops, right? Like that. Like that. No. That last one, no. Let's go like this. All right, close enough, right? No one's really going to see it. Doing good. You got a new job a while ago and disappeared off the internet. Yes. Haven't seen you you on in a while. No. I want to clean up that. All right. So haven't been making anything meaningful as far as game dev. Have a few ideas you've been fiddling with here and there. So that's kind of why I do what I do, right? So if we go to my page here, right? On the course, so I've only been doing game dev, right, for like two years now. And this is all the different things that I started putting out. After I did Pixel Warrior, I started making 3-month long game challenges. So after that, I did a Twitch avatar one, which is what you see running around the bottom of the screen now. R1 is very noisy. And I did a 3-month tower defense game, a game jam one, a 3-month RPG game, and now we're working on a 3-month top down. It's mostly because, one, I don't really know what I want to work on. And so I wanted to try a bunch of different style games. One, also to increase my skills and what I'm learning. And then maybe come across something, right? And I think I found it. So the idea was on the RPG, which is you can play in the browser. In 3 months, I was able to get 3 biomes, 3 different types of enemies, 3 quest lines that you pick up from the bartender. And I'm going to revisit that, right? So after we finish the escape, this top down, which is going to be done at the end of this month, we're going to revisit the RPG game, and we're going to spend 6 months on it instead of the normal 3. So we're going to take the 3-month version, we're going to start working on version 2, and like I said, we're going to spend 6 months on it and really take it to the next level. More biomes, more enemies, more quests, more talking to the different NPCs, that kind of stuff, right? So we're really going to take it to the next level. And then we'll figure out something for the end of the year. But that's sort of how we're working on this. So, what was I doing? Oh, yeah. That's kind of my idea, right? And it's because of that. I don't really know what I wanted to do. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to make a whole bunch of different games for a while and see what I like, what I don't like, and learn some new stuff. That's been about it. But like I said, we're going to revisit that RPG and really kind of take it to the next level here. Here we go. And we got to fix whatever I did over here. There we are. All right. So let's go off of here. Secret Harbor, good morning. It is nice to see you. I don't always get the pleasure of having you in my stream. You're always in. You go to Jeepins because she does the cooking stuff, right? So, what is going on here is I'm working on artwork for a game, right? because you know I always like to work on this stuff and do these things, but this is what this is. Yeah, so this is artwork that I've done for the game, and now we're working on some stuff here. And I don't know if you've actually seen this or not, but I will show you the game. And there we are. The game is called The Escape, right? And it is a type of game called sort of a top-down shooter. So when you go into the next area here, you'll have enemies that show up, and you have to avoid them and fight your way out. And this is the current game that I'm working on. Right? And the artwork that we're working on is going to go where you see these circles appearing. These are temporary things, and we're going to replace it with the new artwork that we're doing today. There we are. That's it. That's kind of the game on what you can do. This is a 3-month challenge, so I started making this at the beginning of the year. Pretty much started it like a couple of days after getting back from visiting you during the holidays. So for those that don't know, Secret Harbor is my mom. She has learned Twitch and likes to come in and hang out in GB Nanny's cooking stream, because who doesn't, right? Oh, and if you've never seen it, Secret Harbor, this is my coffee cup. We'll go to just chatting here, right? It's a coffee pot coffee mug, right? That Jeepin got me for Valentine's. So that's what this is. It is literally like a little coffee pot coffee mug, right? And yeah, you probably see it's been cold all winter, so I let my beard grow. And but it's starting to get warmer now, so we are going to be hitting we're in the 70s now during the day, and starting probably Wednesday we're going to be somewhere, it's going to be between 85 and 90, so we're skipping spring and going straight to summer again. And that's how it works here. All right. Sophie treat. Yes. Oh, and Secret Harbor, on my stream, we do Sophie treat. It's a point redeem for me, and we come over here, and then we have a camera set up for Sophie. Here we are. Good girl. Because Arwen hangs out on Jeepin stream during like her cooking stream, and Sophie gets to be on mine. That's how that works. All right. I think we need to change. Well, we have two reds. I think we're going to change that. But what do we want POW. I need a color. Like a yellow, green. We can make it blue. All right, chat. What color do we want? I think let's start. How about a yellow? Right. There. So now it says POW. And we need to figure out what is our complementary color to a yellow. So we go back to our little drawing board here and we look at our wheel. Yellow complementary color is violet. So that would be this. And there we go. This one, I didn't put any little cloud things with. I just did a whole bunch of little lines around the edge. But what do we think? That looks good. Excellent. All right. Zap. What's another color people like? What do we got out there? We don't have a blue. So we could do like blue. And then what is blue's complementary? So if we have blue, orange. Blue and orange. Blue. There. That is zap. So this is, like I said, these are little animated action words that will pop up on screen when your character, like when the player hits the enemy with a melee weapon. So we got zap, pow, boom, bang. We're going to do a WTF just for the fun of it. But then we have clang. So... and this just has stuff around it. These ones I think I did okay on some of the shapes. Yeah. But this one I tried to do a little more 3D look, like I gave it shadowing on the letters. It turned out okay. But I need another color. So this, let's see what we got. We have a red and green. We have a red and yellow, yellow and purple, like violet, blue and orange. What about purple? All right. Let's make it like bright purple. You want it like bright, like purple teal? Teal? What the hell's teal? Teal is... fuck. All right, so it's that color. Let me see if I can figure that out. It's going to be like a blue, purple, like this. That teal? What is a teal hex number? Teal hex code. All right, so we need teal hex color code. How about 008080? Right, and we'll take that and come into here, and we can set this to that. Nope. Like this. Also, I see the notification ads are going to start here in about 40 seconds to a minute. During the ad break, I do take a be right back. I'm going to get up. I need to uncover Arwen, who is talking like crazy over there. I'm going to grab some more coffee. This will be a good moment for everybody else to get up and stretch and do whatever you need to. And then we'll get back to it. But in the meantime, I think we got teal right. So we looked up the hex color code, right, which is the code that tells you what the color is. And we have it here. But what color on the wheel? So it's kind of like this. So maybe like an orange or something behind it might look good. Like that. And I think that looks okay, right? And like I said, my ads are going to run and they're going to come up very quick. And once they do, I'm going to take a be right back. I'm going to uncover Arwen, grab some more coffee, and then we'll be back to working on this. All right. So, I agree. I think that looks pretty good. Let's work. Let's do some white while we're waiting here. These are kind of like little poofs of cloud stuff. All right, there we are. And there are the ads. I will see everybody shortly, so hang tight, and I will be right back. All right. I am back. So I had to feed Arwen because that was partly why she was making noise so early in the morning. She was like, I can see the bottom of my bowl. Therefore, I am starving. It's just one of her things. She does not like to see the bottom of the bowl. She wants her food dish to be endless. Right? All right. So I think that looks pretty good. We'll probably end up redoing this one. But let's figure out something for Clang, right? So what's a good Clang look? What do we have? We have teal, blue, yellow, red. What if we did something opposite? Like, what if we did like purple here? And, yeah. Jeepin is not feeling well, so she is skipping work. But she hobbled her way down the stairs. Good morning.
I read that this helps.
You read that the bottle help. What is it?
Magnesium.
Oh, the magnesium? Okay.
Try and take some.
All right. She has a bit of a sinus cold. So it's affecting she's getting a little bit of like vertigo with it. Right? So she gets up, tries to move too quick, she gets wobbly, that kind of stuff, because she has an ear infection, sinus on one side of her head. That's so she's skipping work, staying home today. Yeah. We're gonna make this brighter. There. All right. I did. Mucinex. Do we have any of that upstairs? That might help too. Drain some of whatever's up there. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna do a bright sort of purple. What? Let's look on here. So purple is right here, maybe a yellow green. Yeah, pollen loading is high. We're also, because it's windy, we start getting like the sand dust storms. So that's been up there knocking all the dust around, you know, all the fun stuff with it, right? And I think we'll do yellow here. If I do, nope. Do it there. I need to close in this still. All right. There, I think that will work. All right, now on this one, I gave it a little bit of a white around the edge of it to see what it would look like. I think it's okay. I don't think we need to do the others, but I was, you know, I think we'll reverse this, right? So let's pick a bright green. Let's make this the bright green. And then let's do like a bright red. You forgot to do it again, homeless. What did you forget? Hello.
Hello there. Hello there. Another happy landing.
It is still my favorite hello. I appreciate you doing that. And I don't know what happened this morning, but I only got 2 cups of coffee out of the coffee thing this morning. So I'm on my 2nd cup, and that's it. That's all I get. Yeah, saying that hello goes hard. Exactly. All right. That is what we got. You jam to it every time, never fails. Exactly. Exactly. All right, let's take it, and we're going to copy this over. We're going to put it into the game. Then we'll run the game and see what it looks like. All right. So let's copy this. And then we'll do one by one. So we need to come back over here. We're going to open this. We'll get rid of that and paste that in here. Like that. Then on this frame, we are doing the next one. So I have it set to sprite indexes instead of making a whole bunch of individual ones. There. All right, so now we're going to do our third one. Oh, I can see it here. I have a couple little dots around it. Hold on. We need to delete that and this and that. All right. And we delete this. So in here, let's just set it to green, and I can see them all real quick. There, and then we'll do black. I think that's it. So that should be good. What we'll do now is we'll select that. Oops, and not do that. There we are. All right. So now we need to select this one. And we'll bring that over here. Oh, I got a couple on that one too. All right. There we are. All right. That one's not that bad. Let's do this. So we're going to take our WTF and put that in there. because why not? There we are. And I see at least one little one there. Oh, and I didn't finish it all the way. So in here, we need this. We're going to just do white. RON. I don't know if you can hear, but Arwen is now calling for Jeepin. Because Jeepin was here and then went back up the stairs. And Arwen is like, I will have none of that. She's like, the mom must be down here. All right. We have one left. There we are. And our giant clang will be on. I think we're good. I think we're good. So, let's stop it. Let's run the game and see what it looks like now. All right, we'll wait for OBS here to see the game. I'll grab some coffee. There it is. All right. All right, what do we think? What do we think, chat? How does it look? I like it. I think it's funny. Right? Your character's just like, yes, let's do it. Beat them all up. All right, let's go in here. Let's do a pick a sigh. So now we have 2 weapons, so it should be doing 2 at once. Like every time each of the weapons hit, you're going to be getting a whole bunch of this stuff. Right? And it shows up slightly where it shows up right where the character is. Or not the character, like the enemy, right? So right where the enemy is. And then it floats and then fades out. All right, we can do, let's do a sword, and let's do a frying pan. So now we have all 4 melee weapons. It just looks like you're going crazy in there. You're like, I'm in a major fight. Some of them are overlapping a little bit, but I think that's okay. We'll do this. We'll do it one more time, and then we'll start trying to figure out something else to work on. Yeah, the game's really coming together. We're down to sort of the last bit here, right? So we're at the last 3 weeks for the game. Yeah. Oh, and Secret Harbor. this I've been doing 3-month game challenges, right? So I try to make a game within 3 months. It's definitely a hard challenge, but it's fun, right? All right. Since I changed this up, because now we also have the wording in here for it, right? So like the description of the weapons. Do I call her Secret Harbor in real life? No, it's just Mom. Although homeless, I'd call you homeless in real life. Yep. The funny thing, Secret Harbor, homeless, is in the same place that like I went to near the school in New Hampshire. So it's kind of neat. Right? You've kind of grown attached to the name homeless, yeah. It's kind of it's yeah. There's lots of people that I call them by their persona names, even in real life. And I also have, because I did all the medieval stuff for like 20 something years, I have a ton of people that are in that I only call by their persona name. I never call them by their real name. So you are forever known as your persona name. That's how that works. Right? Yep. What are you talking about, Arwen? Hi. You probably can't hear her because she's a little too quiet. But she's over there grumbling and making noises and talking. All right. I think we need to work on this, the shuriken, because let's get rid of the sai. Right now, when the shuriken hits, it is still going through. So you see it all the way across the screen. I think we need to make it so that it gets like destroyed when it hits the enemy. So it does the damage, hits and destroys itself. And I think I'm going to change it. So maybe we start with a sword in the game. That way, you immediately get to see all the boom, clang, clash, pow stuff, right? All right, we're getting close. We're going to go until we hit level 3 so that we can check out how the laser system's looking. When you get 4 weapons, at the moment, you do pretty good by like running through them and not taking a huge amounts of damage. But and then I'm also healing myself by running over the little essence stones. I probably need to make that +2 just a little bit bigger. I don't even know if that's doing anything, actually. It looks like it's firing off a little bit to them. So it's not actually hitting very well. Let's do a crossbow in the frying pan's place. We may hit Maybe. I forgot to see how many enemies we had on this particular round. We may hit level 3 right after this. Otherwise, we have one more to go. The melee or the ranged weapons don't do a knockback on the enemy, but the melee ones, which is kind of a benefit for having them, so it like knocks them away. We got one more to go. Good morning, Fuzzy. Welcome in. All right. Yep. I took a little bit of damage on that one. The shuriken's definitely not doing anything. But that's all right. All right, so we hit level 3. Come in here. We'll leave it for now. Let's go out. Level 3 should be starting the laser effect off of the enemies. Should. Oh, yep, there we go. So the laser, the telegraph, right, which is the tell in front of the enemies, will be yellow and green, and it will follow you at that point. When it hits red, it's targeting, and it will lock on. So at that point, if you move, you will still be able to get around it. And it's the chance to avoid it. I really like the action names. I think that turned out well. I'm glad we cleaned those up and finished those this morning. I think it's looking pretty good, right? Yeah, Shuriken's just missing them completely. All right. Let's go ahead and stop it. Let's try to look at some stuff and figure out how to fix that, right? But like I said, these turned out nice. I like it. So. And I'm still trying to figure out how I want to put these in. They're little like columns. I need to finish them up. I have a blue one. I have a green one. I was going to make this one red and this one yellow. That's why I kind of put a couple of dots on them. So I'm not 100% sure yet. But either they're just going to show up and they'll be a part of the room and you can't go through them. And so you have to go around it. Or they will be like the little smashers out of like Mario or something where like it comes down on the ground on you. Like, right? So you'll start to see like a warning notice on the ground, and next thing you know, it lands. So I don't know. And maybe I will make it do damage to both player and enemy. So if you use it, you could use it to your advantage. Hi, Arwen. Arwen is talkative. She's like, I hear you talking and nobody else is down here. Therefore, you are talking to me. That's kind of how she goes, right? She's just like, oh, you're talking to me. I'm going to respond. All right. I'm really happy with how these turned out. Good choices in colors, chat. All right. So we're not looking at throwing code. She does like to talk all the time, which is another reason originally we had our streaming rooms in different areas, like in different rooms, right? But she was always down here. So we were like, no, we want to be where Arwen is, because she can't just come up to us, right? Like Sophie can. So we moved here, and she loves it because we'll both be sitting here. We're either gaming or doing stuff, and she's just here talking away because she thinks we're talking to her the whole time. And she's definitely having conversations with us, right? You can hear her trying to say a whole bunch of different words, and put them, like, she has a blast. So and Herb, you'll like it. I am wearing my Irish flat cap, right? So the green, here, we'll go to just chatting for a second so you can see it. The green one, because in a couple of days, it is St. Patrick's. Right? That is on Tuesday. We are not going out for it, but Jeepin is going to be doing something with her for the cooking stream based on it. I don't know what yet, but she's going to be doing something. So all right. We need where this is the weapons. So we have none here. I'm looking for my cross or the, what was it? The shuriken. That's it. All right, let's find all the places that we have it listed. And also let's take a look at the sprite for the shuriken. Weapon, range, shuriken. Right, so it's going here. I'm pretty sure it's aiming at the XY of the enemies. We'll have to double check that. But let's look at our objects, sprites, weapons, actor. It's under actors, our enemies here. Now, see, most of them are up high. All right, we'll just have to find it. Because I don't remember where it is. So, player weapon, line 75 and 87. We know it's not there, right? That's this code. That's not the one I'm looking for. I don't think so, right? So let me think about this here. We have the only other thing is purchase. We have it only here. Let me see. Do I have anything in my notes on this? No. So the problem, this is our fix it page. All right. We have the shuriken. Be back in a few minutes. All right. I will be here, Secret Harbor. All right, so the shuriken, is what? When we fire it, is missing the enemy by being just below it. Needs to target about middle of enemy, right? So this is it, right? That's what we're going to try to work on. It says the shuriken right here. So the shuriken, when thrown, is missing the enemy by being like just below it. Needs to target the middle of the enemy, right? So that's kind of what we're going to try to fix, and see what we can come up with, right? And when doing a search for shuriken, I'm only coming up with player weapon here. So this is it right here on this line, right? I think the issue is going to be inside our projectile. So the only other place we have it, and I probably should have done that. Let's think about that. We have object. It's under range. Shuriken. Projectile. We have no code in there. Which is fine. Let's think here. What about I have parent projectile, enemy projectile. Let's go to parent enemy. Right. Let's go to collision. Down here. That's only, so this piece here, right? Well, let's put that up here. So we always sort of have it, and that's right here, right? Outside of that, we don't. Hold on. Melee, instance, projectile. I think, all right, let's take this. Put this up here as well. Right? Because I think that's what we're going to end up trying to work on. So now, let me read it. In parent enemy. All right, so we have if dead. We don't really care. We have our knockback feature right here, right? There's my telegraphing, the tell, our weapon, our hybrid, and our projectile. Draw, object bullet. Yeah, I really think because we don't have anything in, what was the other stuff we said? Shuriken. Object shuriken. We have no code in there, right? It's just the object, which is fine. That's not what we need then. Shuriken projectile. We don't have code in there. All right. So it's just going to be here. Because if we look, all right, instance dead. We want to set it. Well, let's think about this. Let's go into object. Let's go to the player. Projectile throwing X. I have that in here twice. I don't need that twice. Why do I have it twice? Was I setting up another one and I forgot? All right. Weapon visual. All right, let's start at the auto attack, loot, weapon visual. Angle, point direction, WX, WY, nearest X and nearest Y. I think this is kind of it, right? So WX and WY we have is set to visual X and visual Y, which we have up higher, right? But nearest X and nearest Y, we're just going to offset the nearest Y. Right? So we want it to go up, so that'll be negative. Let's do negative 30. Run it and see how that looks. But I think that'll be all right. Let's stop it. Let me come back in here. We're going to turn off the sword. We're going to make it so starts with weapon, shuriken for testing. There we go. Oops, I didn't wait. There it is for OBS. I think it's doing a little better. All right, it's not damaging anything. We're going to change something here. Where is my enemy spawn? And we're going to make it so that it is between 1 and 5. So we can see it a little better. All right, that is not correct either. It's going a little bit high. That's going high on it. All right, let's change it again. What was that in? Player. Let's make it 10. Which enemy was it that I was noticing this on? Because maybe I have an enemy with the origin point up high, or I mean, and I have it down low. No. What is this one? That middle center. Middle center. Middle center. All right, so they're all where they need to be. Still going slightly off of it. Well, that one's lining up right there. I think it's a little off. Brewer, good morning. Welcome in. We've been working on some, I think, is exciting stuff. But it is, let me readjust it. I'm just going to show you what I was working on, right? So let me go back to system here. We're going to turn this weapon off. Let's give it back to a sword. So you start with a sword, right? We're going to come back in here. Let's set it to 15 to like 25, right? I spent during the week, I was working on it. I did post about it, but like we finished it up, right? So in the beginning of stream here. All right. So I start with a sword. Enemies are coming. 4 melee weapons. I have put in all different action words for whenever you hit any enemy with a melee weapon. I think it's great and fun, right? But like, that's just kind of how it is. Yeah. So, and it looks like pretty cool, I think. All right, welcome back, Secret Harbor. I may change it up a little bit. I have a zap, which kind of makes me think of like a taser. So maybe I'll use that for that one. And I have a bang, which I think I may use for like the pistol. Right? But outside of that, I like the way this looks. What we're working on, though, is the shuriken. It's misbehaving a little bit. We'll set it back to this. And it could be that the shuriken is doing that because of the way I have the projectile. Equipment, welcome in. How you doing? So it could be because I have it down here as well. Let's make it middle center. See what it looks like with the player. Right? Let's go back in. Let's set it to use the shuriken as a test. We'll leave it to 5 to 15 enemies, and we should be all right. Yeah, I enjoyed making those, right? So that, they turned out pretty good. And like I said, I think the zap is going to be attached to the taser. and the bang will be from the pistol. But at least the pow, the clang, will be, and the giant, like the WTF, will also be for the melee weapons. And maybe boom will be on something else. I don't know yet. All right. Let's see now. It's not doing any damage, so we're ignoring that. Well, maybe that did kind of fix it. It doesn't look like it's missing them anymore. It's going through them, but not above or below them. So what I'm looking for is the closest enemy, which will be this one. It's going right through the middle of it, and that's kind of what I want. I mean, the speed will fix that, but like, yeah. And some of them are missing because it's changing angle with it, right? So it always targets the nearest enemy, and when it switches, sometimes it throws between them. Which is fine, because then you would end up hitting one behind it. And obviously, we've only slightly added in some health stuff for the player. But they're not 100% working yet. All right. Let's check out. Let's start it with a throwing axe. Right, and I want to check that one out. Let's do throwing axe and start the game. So, what's everybody else up to today? It is, by the way, Pi Day. And it is. It's Happy Pi Day. Why? Because pi, the mathematical thing, equals 3.14 and a whole bunch of stuff. Numbers after that, but 3.14 is equal to March 14th, 314. And so it's Pi Day. You did not even realize it was Pi Day? Yes, it is Pi Day. Mathematical pie. Apple pie? It could be apple pie. We had a cherry pie earlier. Could be apple pie. But yes, Apple Pie Day. You should have a pie on Pi Day. I don't have any pie, but we get to say Happy Pi Day. And a couple of days ago was Mario. So it was Mario Day because it was March 10th. And MAR for March 10 mean it was Mario. There's nothing as good as Mom's sweet potato pie. Interesting. What's in a potato pie? Besides potatoes. And Vasilis, welcome. Vasario? Welcome in. I know, I'm butchering names left and right. Don't mind me. Welcome in. It's all going well. We were just talking about it being Pi Day, right? So pi, the mathematical thing, is 3.14 and a whole bunch of numbers, but 3.14 is also March 14th, which is today. I'm fired? Yeah, I know. All right, let's start it. We're going to test out the throwing axe, right? Its range is not very good, but that's okay. Trying to look. It looks like it is hitting them right where I want them. right? So it's got to be right in the middle. All right, let me heal up. There we go. Yeah, it looks like it's hitting them pretty good. The range is not very good, but that's okay. All right. Let's try. Let's see what it looks like with a taser. Actually, here, we'll do taser. And try that out. And make sure that it's firing where I want it to hit on the enemy. All right, so the little yellow bolts look like they are hitting the enemy in the middle of it. I don't really think it's doing any damage, which is fine, but like, I think it's going okay. Yeah, all right, so I'm pretty certain all my throwing things, so projectile and weapons being the shuriken, the throwing axe, the taser, and the regular throwing axe are all hitting the enemy correctly now. So we will need to start to adjust what happens with it. And this is the taser, so like I said, the action word for zap, I think, will be this one, right? So when it hits here, I think it'll be there. And that was stinky. That was. All right, so let's, what program did you use the artwork in? Thanks. Let's go to it. So let me close the game. The game is being done in GameMaker artwork. I'm doing both in GameMaker and EightBitsaByte. And Bits, you did Bits? I appreciate that. I don't hear any of the Bit stuff. Wonder why. All right, let me sign back into some of this stuff real fast. I apologize for that. There is bit noises. And thanks. 100 bits. I appreciate the 100 bits. So, what else do I use? Sign in the Tangia here. Refresh the links, right? So we got sound alerts back there. All right. Hopefully it's all good. And thank you for the follow. All right. So we have what we were working on earlier this morning were the I can't remember the name again, homeless, but action words, right? So we made bang, boom, pow, zap, WTF, and clang, which occur right now when the melee weapons are hitting. Hi, Sophie. I'm onomatopoeia. It's pretty close, right? It's not. There was like a T or something in there too, but that's pretty close to it. But that's the actual name for it. What was that? Oh, I see ads are going to start in about 30 seconds or so. During that time, I'm going to take a quick be right back, and then we'll get back to trying to work on some stuff. And I think what we're going to work on next is still trying to get the weapons to work a little better, right? Not all of them are doing damage, so I think that's the first thing we're going to have to try to do. But we have our descriptions now in them. A couple of them have sounds, only like throwing axe and the sword. So, and we're going to set damaging to how some of that stuff's done, but it's getting there. It's getting there. I still have to think of how I'm going to do tier 2 and 3 weapons, but for now, everything's just a tier 1. And then I'll figure these ones out. All right. Cheap and found it. Onomatopoeia. Right. That word refers to the word that phonetically imitates, resembles, or suggests the sound that they describe. Buzz, splash, boom. Excellent. All right, there is the ad break. I'm going to take a quick be right back. Now is a good time. Get up, stretch, do whatever you need to, and I will see you all in just a few moments. Hang tight. There we go. All right. Stream Deck wasn't working. Also, Paulina, welcome in. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome to my little corner of code and game design and and all kinds of stuff. Secret Armor, you got to go now. I appreciate you stopping in, Mom. Thank you, and I hope you have a great day. I will chat with you later. Brewer, welcome back. Thanks. Thanks. I will, Mom. And again, for those that don't know, Secret Harbor is my mom. It is the easy way for her to keep tabs of what I am doing. And by coming in and saying hi here. All right. So let's see what we got going on. We want to try to fix the shuriken particularly, right? So I think the easy way is I'm going to make a collision with it. Oh man, when your parents learn where to watch your stream, that is going to be wild. Yes. My dad does not do social media or that stuff, but he knows computer stuff a little better, right? He could come on at some point on here, but my mom has learned how to do Twitch, particularly because Jeep and Annie, she does the cooking stream on Mondays, and my mom loves that stuff. So she wanted to watch it. And now she has started learning how to come into my chat and hang out. Yep. And it's always funny. My mom watches it and tries to write down what's being done because then she wants to mimic it and try it and cook stuff, right? And for those that don't know, we'll do let's give Pauline here a shout out. Let me give you a shout out, right? I appreciate you coming in. She does cooking a couple days a week. I think it's like 3 days a week, and it's great. And her husband is also a gamer who streams. I don't remember how to spell his stream name, but it's another cool couple, right? Cooking and gaming. And I know you play games too. Do it a Champ. That's it. I remember Champ. But yeah, I don't remember. I know you play games, but I don't remember how often you do it. I know you do the cooking like three days a week, I think. And yeah, so what you just did was exclamation point jump. That is for the avatars that you see at the bottom of the screen. That is one of the programs that I wrote. That was this one right here. And it was a 3-month game challenge that I did as well. My next game should be Cooking with Mom. Oh, wouldn't that be a funny game to try to make? Right? That would be fun. Make a incremental game of cooking, and you got to cook with Mom. So, yep. All right. I think we're going to try and make it. Oh, maybe we'll do something like that at the end of the year, right? So, the idea is we're going to finish up this top-down shooter in 3 weeks here. It'll be done. Then we'll move on. We're going to go back to the RPG one that we spent 3 months on, which already has three enemies, 3 biomes, 3 quest lines, and 1 NPC you get to talk to. But we're going to go and spend 6 months on it and really take it to the next level. And after that, I don't have anything for the end of the year, and maybe we'll come up with something like that. That'd be fun. But let's switch this back. Let's go off a taser. Let's start with the sword, right? And we're going to run it again. And see how it works, right? In the game, mom yells out random ingredients, and you have to run around and find them, then throw them into the pot. That would be yes. Absolutely, Jeevan. I think that would be really funny. Maybe that is going to be the game we use at the end of the year. I think that'd be great. Make an incremental cooking game. Yep. All right. So the game is called The Escape. We're gonna run it. Go through this. I know it says take a pistol to get started. I'm probably gonna switch it. You're gonna start with a sword, right? He runs away, and you come in here. So now we have a sword. And all the enemies spawn in, and then you got to run away from those, right? And we just added the onomatopoeia something word, but the action items, like the action names. So we added that in for all melee weapons right now. They do all they pull them out of a sprite index, and it's just a whole bunch of them. So pew pew for the gun. That's a good one. We could do pew pew for a gun. I was thinking bang, but bang could be used for something else. We have bang, boom, zap. I was going to attach to the taser. But right now it's just cycling through them all. This looks like a game Champ would play. Yeah, I think he would like it. Particularly because of like the style of games that he likes, right? So right. But yeah, I was going to split these out. And like I said, the zap is going to be for the taser. Bang and boom, I haven't figured out. But pow, WTF, and clang, definitely for the melee weapons. And we'll have to make a couple more. So you're unfamiliar with this software. Do the animation cycles through the sprites left to right? Yes. So it does if you add it into a like a animation speed, right? I'm not doing that. So what I'm doing is I'm calling individual ones, right? So all those different images are set here, and they're on each individual sprite index. So therefore, I don't have to have 6 individual sprites for it. And let me see if I have it up still. No, let me find it. Oh, where did I put that? Let me close this. We want system. Hit effects. So inside here, I have image speed is 0. So even if I have like a certain like 12 frames per second or something like that, it's not going to run it, right? And then I'm individually calling the sprite indexes to be randomized, right? So it'll random like choose one and show it. It's just a different way to do it. Most of the time I have sprites for everything, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to try and get it to be one sprite with a whole bunch of indexes on there and just randomly show them. What will happen though is if I want a couple of them for, let's say I want the zap or the taser, I'll take it out of this one and just make a whole nother sprite with zap. So this will be like the action name, and then I'll rename it, and it'll be action name melee weapons. Is this way more efficient? I don't know. kind of half and half, right? I don't know if it's necessarily more efficient. It was just something I was trying. That's a lot of what I do on these projects. So I'm not sure. Another person in here is Brewer. He also works with GameMaker and way more coding experience than I do. So the question is it more efficient to have the sprites all together like this versus it making individual sprites? I don't normally do it this way. I wanted something different to try it. For me, it seems pretty easy. I don't know on a code wise whether it is or not. Right. So, like, for me, it's right here. Oh, and Brent's here. Brent's another GameMaker dev. Welcome in, by the way. I think it's totally better to do it this way so you don't have a bunch of files in your asset level library. This keeps it clean and tidy. Excellent. Yeah, I liked it. It's like it seems pretty straightforward, right? And like I said, I just randomize it. And then it's just going through and picking one of these out of it every single time it hits, like the weapon hits. And then we'll run it here. This is what it looks like, right? So you come in, like I said, you got your intro stuff, and I'm going to change that up here a little bit. But you go through the portal, you go into the next room. This is where your enemies are. And it'll look like that. It randomly picks one of the indexes for it. And I made it so the melee weapons do a knockback feature. So when they hit the enemy, it sends them off a little bit. That's kind of the benefit of having a melee weapon with you. If an enemy gets too close, it hits them and pushes them. Right? And we don't have enough because I lowered the number of enemies in the room for testing. And like I said, I think it turned out pretty good. I like the color choices that you chose at the beginning of stream when we were coloring these in. And I think it turned out pretty good. One nice little touch, if you wanted to do it, is to store the image index in a variable. So each time you do it, you make sure that it's not using the same image index twice in a row. Yeah. All right, let me pull it up. So this is what we got, right? I have image index right here. Index is basically just saying it's a random image number. So we want to put that into a variable. Right? Let's see. Store the image index in a variable. So each time you do it, you make sure that it's not using the same image. How would you make that with it being random? Right? Like instead of this being here, we would say the whole thing is inside a variable. Right? Last then if last reroll. I think we're just make it complicated. All right, so we wanted a variable. I don't know what we're going to call this. How about a attack name, right? So then if we're doing attack name, so what? We're taking this and putting this up here. So now it's inside a variable. And then we draw it. Weird. And I hear Sophie treat. There she is. All right. We're going to do a Sophie treat real quick. And then we'll be right back on this. So let me get the camera to switch over. If Stream Deck wants to behave, your camera moved. There we are. This is Sophie, by the way. She is the star of the stream. I'm just a co-streamer. There we are. Yep, that is Sophie. All right. So we have attack name equals draw sprite. No, we want attack name to equal what? The image index? So we just want it to be image index, but we already have an image index. So image index number. Is this what you're thinking, Brent? All right, so attack name equals image index, but image index equals it being random. Brent, you told me to do something and then you run away. Kelvar, Sophie is why you are here. Who cares about the coding? Exactly. And Trish, good morning. Welcome in to the craziness of coding. Yeah. What you were thinking was create a variable name, something like last effect index. All right, so we'll change this again, right? We'll call it last effect index. And we have it equaling image index, right? Then, so you are having it roll, and then you carry the number it rolls and calls that action. Having it roll. Not sure I know how to do that. All right. Let's figure that out. And then Brent, then when you pick the image index, save that image index number in the variable. I feel like that's so much more complicated than what I just had right here. But all right, so we have last effect index image index equals image index, right? An image index is equal to it being random. Then when you draw the image, so down here, just do a while loop. All right, so while with the new image index does not equal, so new while new image index does not equal last effect index. Oops. Then let's put it inside here. Right? There. Oh, it's based on the image index of the player? No. It's the image index of the sprite. So one sprite has 6 images inside it. It's picking each one like from that list, like from those indexes. That's what. Right? So image index is like number 1, you know, or 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 6, right? That's what it is. It's picking one of these. That's where the randomness comes from. And then, and that's this one right here. So when it draws it randomly in here. I feel like this is a lot of like weird loopy here, and it may not call it right, but we can try to see if it works. And for those that are new and
Hello there.
hello,
Hello there. Hello there. Another happy landing.
have a happy landing. So for those that are new, if you hear a squawking bird, yes, there is a bird in here. Her name is Arwen. She is a 4-year-old Quaker parrot, almost 5. She turns 5 in April. And for those that are new, hello there. Yes. That is still my favorite hello. All right. I guess we'll try it. Let's see what bugs we get, like error message, and then I'll try to fix it, right? Okay, so it didn't like I must have forgot something. Let's go back to this. What did I forget? Line 3, it does not like it this way. Got expected malformed assignment. All right. Well, last effect index. We have then image index. Maybe I should change this. I think I'm using image index too much and it's confusing it. It's confusing me now. So, but that's pretty easy to do because, you know, still being a noob here. Someone just got an item in a Pokeball? Yes, they did. They got an item in a Pokeball. And it was a follow. That's what they got. So it's saying line 3 draw. Okay, so it does not like this. My while statement is wrong. What am I missing? While new, maybe I need to say equal. No. Shit, what is a while state? I don't use them enough. What does it look like? GameMaker while loop. I don't use them very often. Okay, so while expression this here. While there. Oh, while does it need to be in parentheses? I think so. I think that's part of it. So while I'm assigning image index before it's declared. Let's try that. But doesn't the while I think because you create this object whenever you make an effect, you can't put last effect in this object. I don't know. I get confused when it's new stuff. This is why it takes me forever, because I'm not like my code. My brain doesn't work in code. So that's why it's taken me like 2 years to get to this point. So we have, all right, we swapped these because someone said we're declaring this. We need this declared before we can do this. But in while loop, so if you wanted to do that, you'd have to save last effect in the global variable. All right. New is a keyboard. New is a keyboard used for constructors. Yes, I have constructors. What are you wanting to do? Image index is built-in variable for all objects. And then you can say in create if image index equals global last index. Well, I had it working where it was just randomly showing them. Chat wanted to make it so that it would not show the same image index twice in a row. And I had no idea how to do that. So that's what we're trying to figure out. All right, so we're going to redo this. We're going to say this is image. But wait, that doesn't work. Can I have, I'm going to have two image index right next to each other, right? So like image index equals global dot last effect index right? That's not going to work. They're going to overwrite each other. So I need to redo my random part of it. Because right now, image index equals a random part. Or instead of it being random, oops, right? Or instead of it being random, what about we just say image index equals this and get rid of the randomness? You would use an array. Oh no, here we go. Okay, we're going to use an array with all possible image frames and then pop them as they are used. Jen, why is it got to be so complicated? It was okay. So now we have the option to use an array. With all possible image indexes. And this is just because you all want it so that you don't see the same one used in a row, right? Now, the problem you may run into is you're going to be able to hold up to 4 weapons. Let's say you hold up to 4 melee weapons at once. If we make it that way, that's going to affect every single one of those. Right? So, because right now, let's go do it. Let me put this back the way it was. Right? Let's run it. Well, let's give myself a couple of different swords here. We'll say 4, right? So we'll do 0, 1, 2, and 3 for the slots. Okay. All right. Let's walk back through it again. All right, we have 4 weapons now. 4 weapons. Is it really going to matter much? Like, you got 4 weapons, each of them doing their own randomness. You're going to end up with some showing the same one at the same time, though. Right? And I only have 6 to begin with. I'm going to take out Zap. Probably one of the bangs. So that'll knock it down to 4. Yeah, Brotato. Basically, this is just my 3-month challenge on making my own version of it. Right? And I mean, like, we have a map, we have different rooms you go to, and you can choose where you go. It's got some extra stuff to it, but yeah, basically like Brotato. I don't know. Is it really needed? I mean, it's only going to have, like I said, there's only going to be possibly 4 of these, right? So if I take out maybe Bang and Boom and put those to some of the other like weapons, and Zap is going to go to the Taser, that leaves POW, WTF, and Clang. And we're only going to have 3 anyways. Right? I don't know we need to do all that. Because, like I said, Zap is going to come out. That's going to go to the Taser. These are going to go to 2 of the other weapons. So we have POW, WTF, and Clang being done for the melee weapons. Right? But right now, they're all 6 of these are inside the same sprite. So let's do this. Let's take them out. Let's call it weapon gun. Action name gun. And we're going to do... Oops. Action name gun. Edit this. We don't want POW, Zap, WTF, Clang. And we'll just make Boom and Bang for the guns. Right? Then we'll come in here and we'll make this one the Taser. Action name Taser. Whoop. Nope. That was a bad idea. Let's go back to the other one. Delete it. Call this one Taser. Then Taser is only going to have the 1. we'll just have POW for taser, right? And we have bang for the gun. Or, I mean, for that. For the sword, we'll get rid of bang, boom, zap. Oh, wait. I did it wrong. Shoot. I'm moving too quick. No. All right. Let's copy this one. Let's open this. I gotta delete this one again. We'll do this. And edit this. And we want zap. Alright. So now the melee weapons only have 3. Right? They got POW, WTF, clang. Let's run it and see what it looks like with just the 3. And we have 4 weapons, so you're going to see them more. I guess let's stop it, restart it with only 1 sword, and see what that looks like. I think that's a good idea. So we'll stop this, mark that. Okay, so I think it'll be okay. Remember, I mean, it's just a prototype game that we need to complete in the 3 months to complete the challenge. I think it's fine. And we have, what, 3 weeks left? 1, 2, 3. We have 3 weekends left. So the goal is to finish this by Monday the 30th. And then we move on to the revisiting the RPG for the next 6 months after that. So this game is done on the 30th. So I think it's fine. Well, let's go into another one here. All right, so we have POW, Clang, and WTF in here. Maybe the WTF should be on something else. And then we're only going to be having the 2 anyways. I might have time to try to design another one of these. So. All right. I think executive decision. We're just going to leave it as it is. I think it's fine. And then yeah, I think it's fine. It'll be fine. Right? Okay. So, with that being said, I wanted to try to get the shuriken to have damage, and I think for right now we're just going to make a collision inside the parent enemy, right? So just like I have it, like I have this, it's basically the exact same thing. Yeah, if dead, if not dead, HP other. If HP is less than 0, then we do the rest of the stuff. Well, I'll have to think about it. I was just going to make it so that there was a collision with the one of the objects, like the projectile, but I think I need to make it a collision with the projectile, and maybe in projectile I'll put that stuff in here. And I think that may help, right? And then what else do I need to work on? I need to try to work on the laser. I need to go back into, where's player weapons? Here, right? And get it so that this stuff works a little better. I need to get it so that we have tier 2 and tier 3 weapons. I have a bunch of stuff still to do. I mean, but I think I'll be able to get it done. I think I have time this weekend to do it. My goal is to trying to put as much into it on the weekends as I can, because obviously during the work week I don't get a whole lot of time. So I think that's our goal. And I appreciate all those suggestions on this, but I think what we're going to do is just leave it the way it is. Right? I think so. Yeah. I think that's just the best. I don't need it to be that complicated on this. I'm just trying to make it so that it's showing up and working. But I'm going to op you over so we can see what it was you were suggesting, Brent. Right? Holy cow. Let me figure out where your stuff being written is here. So image index to here. We had a if statement to I think, where does it break off? It's 3 different ones. I know that. I think that's it. Right? Because then this and that. All right, so that is what you were suggesting, Brent. If it's working, it needs to be fixed, of course. Of course, right, Kelvar? I mean, the suggestion was good. Easy crayon time. Yeah, crazy. Crayon. Welcome to newbie game dev. And again, easy fits the challenges. Right? Because all right, so is it really needed? Chat, you get to be the final choice on this. Right? If there's only now 3 images, right? We have 1, 2, and 3. Is it really needed to do that? I mean, I may try to get a 4th one made. If I can get that in, we'll do it. So we have image index equals random 1. Let's get rid of the thingy at the end of the lines. I don't like this. Image index equals I random, and then we said if is undefined, global last here, right? And then we were using the while loop instead of this, right? Okay, so now we need to get rid of, we're going to get rid of this line, and we are using this, right? So we have all that in the create event. Then we said this needs to be global. While new image index does not equal global last image effect index, draw the sprite. Right? Oh, I want that minimized. No. What? That's what you had written. I don't need to do the while loop anymore. Okay. I was just joking. We'll just delete that. But now we're going to do this. Now I'm done. Okay. So we'll delete that out of there. All right. So that is what we got. So let's run it and see what it is. It's stuff, like I said, it takes my brain just a little bit sometimes when it's something new. And trying to come up with something new while streaming. Those are always like not very good combos with my brain. What? It's because I call it like streamer brain and game dev stuff. It's hard. All right. So we're going to go in. We start with a sword. We're going to have a couple enemies. And it doesn't like it. Okay, so what didn't it like? It doesn't like that, right? So this right here, it doesn't like. Which is what? Where's a good place to put this thing? If create event, hit objects, global variable name, last effect index not set before reading it. So last effect index is not set before reading it. So now we need to put in a something global dot last effect index equals something. Oh wait, I have it out of order, right? It's saying not set before reading, last effect index, right? Which means that this needs to go up top because order of operation, right? So this should just go to the top, and then that should work better. Nah, keep it at the... Okay. I was just joking. I did not understand the error message then. Because you need to set it to your newest image index. Okay. But maybe just in your game object, just put... So up at the top here, we just say... Well, let me put these back together. Whoops. What did I hit? F12. Not the button I wanted. This equal 0. If I put that at the top, that will initialize it, right? That will set it so that when it is being done, it has something to write. At the beginning of your game, where you declare your game variables. So we can take it out of this and not put it in that object, but we can put it in System Game Manager and put it here. Then it's declared right away. No, because if you set it in this object, it will always reset the global variable to 0, but you want to retain the last image index. So yes, the delay. So we're just catching up on stuff, right? So what I did was I moved it to System Game Manager, which is initialized at the very, very, very beginning of everything because it's initialized in the initialization room. So now this will always be initialized at the beginning of the game. This also gives it, we assigned it a 0, right? So it has something to overwrite now. So when it runs through this, it has something to do. All right, now we'll try it. And there we go. So it works. It looks... I mean, there's only 3 of them, so it's cycling through them really quick. But... I think it's working fine. It doesn't see any problems, right? All right. So we have it set so that it doesn't use the same ones right away, right? Like it'll cycle through them on it. I feel like now I need to work on a couple more of these to put into the list. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. It will be fine. They look cool. I think so. This is, well, I was trying to draw this stuff, but you know, and then we chose the colors first thing in this morning in chat. And it's bedtime for you. Well, Brent, I appreciate all the help, as well as to the commuter. I'm butchering your name. I know. I'm sorry. As well, right? But it is just it's that time as well. It's just about 10 a.m. So now I think it's good. You laughing at me for butchering your name? I can't do it. It's a thing. Right? But I appreciate the help. I decided you all were right, which, you know, is a thing. You are right more than me. So we went with it, right? and now it seems to be working properly. But it is 10 a.m. I generally only stick to about 3 hours. So I have other things I need to get done and try to work on. So I will be able to spend a little bit of time today on this as well. I do want to get in some game time because it's my weekend, and that's generally when I have time to do stuff. But I will be back tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Mountain Time. So same digital channel, same digital time. We'll see what I was able to get done today, and we'll continue working on things tomorrow. And it'll be good times. But let's see who's all out there. It varies sometimes on Saturday morning. If we can find another, if we have another GameMaker one on my list, we'll do GameMaker. But let's just see who we got. Unless you all want to see artwork. If you want to see artwork, like pixel art, I know somebody that's good on that. You might see me on Diablo later. Hit me up, Homeless. Let me know. I'm definitely going to be playing some Diablo 4 later. Because like I still have a bunch of stuff I want to try to get done before April's launch of the next expansion to it. Let me try to see who is on. Well, what do we feel like? Pixel art, game dev. How about some pixel art? Because that's what we started with today. So the guy that we're going into is Ryan. He does his own artwork for his game, as well as designing and coding his game. It's all good stuff, right? But we're going to go in, say hi to him. And like I said, I will have some time to try to work on this later today, hopefully. If not, we'll pick up where we left off tomorrow and see what we can get done. That's kind of how that goes. Anyways, I hope everybody has a great Pi Day, because it's Pi Day. And I will talk to you all later. I will see everybody tomorrow. And have a great day, folks. I will talk to you all later. Bye.